Hi, I'm Mike, Director of Customer Partnerships for HVAC here at Parkstown. Today we're going to talk about the top 5 tools for an HVAC tech in the heating season. All right, multimeters. There are a plethora of different styles and brands on the market. A couple of different styles that I have here is the regular handheld multimeter, and then I have an amp clamp multimeter. They're both going to do the same things, except for this one's going to give you an amp reading when you put it over a wire. Obviously, you're going to be doing that if you're checking amperage on your inducer motor or your blower motor during the heating season. And when it comes to having a handheld, this is where you're going to be checking for voltage coming from your flame sensor or your call for heat from the thermostat. Many different reasons to have a probe style multimeter in your bag at all times. Manometers. There, again, are a plethora of different styles and types on the market. Digital, analog, a couple of the different ones that I have here just to give you an idea that it's more of what you're testing rather than the brand. This particular one, the style here is it's a dual port manometer, just like this one. This one has the additional feature of testing a pressure switch, which comes in handy if you are having issues with a pressure switch. But more to the point of a manometer is checking your gas pressure in the heating system. Being able to know what your gas pressure is and being able to adjust it is very important. Not to mention, these also dual as a static pressure testing tool. And if airflow is becoming an issue, you're going to notice it more on the heating season than you will in the cooling season due to high limits. So very, very important tool to make sure you have in your bag and you know how to use them. Hand drills. There are many, many different styles out there. This was the one I had for everyday use. As you can see, it definitely got used. This one, if I were to make that decision now, I probably would have gone with something a little lighter. The battery on this one's just a little bit clunky for me. It gives me the false sense of security that I can use this as a hammer, and you shouldn't. With your drill, obviously, make sure you have either a charger with you or a charged battery with you. Because there's nothing worse than having to go back to a handheld tool, in especially a commercial environment when you have to take out 90 screws. Along with your drill is going to be your fittings, your adapters to it. This one came out much later into my career than I would like to say. I love this one because it gives me both 1/4 inch and 5/16 inch in one. I'm able to flip it around and I can take both of those screws out. Something like this is invaluable, not having to reach back in your bag to go back out and get another one. Like I said, I wish this was available for me when I was learning and coming up. There are many, many different bits and drills. We can go over them, just let us know and we'll put together a video. All right, pipe wrenches. Today we're gonna go over why I would have a pipe wrench in my bag during heating season. A couple of different reasons actually. Probably the most important one is the coupling that feeds the gas valve. A lot of times technicians have a tendency, if they do take that off, they're not tightening it enough and you may get a whiff of gas. I'm always using my nose, and if that's the case, I'm going to take a pipe wrench and I'm going to tighten it. These are the easiest ones to keep in my bag, and it'll dual as something that I can use for a coupling. But if I want to go further and take apart the actual pipe itself, then I'm going to go up to a little bit heavier of a pipe, adjustable pipe wrench for the heating. But this can get you out of a lot of pinches to keep in your bag at all times. All right, I'm going to talk a little bit about a CO detector. CO detectors, they're not necessarily mandatory to do your job, but in my opinion, safety is of the utmost importance. If you're doing a large store, there's multiple rooftops and all of them are firing at the same time, and they do happen to have compromised heat exchangers, there's going to be CO leaking into that building. And how are you going to know? One good way of knowing that is to actually carry a portable CO detector. That's what this one does. What I'll do is, as I'm going through and I'm adjusting all the thermostats in the store back after I've done my maintenance and the heat has been running, I'm going to wear this with me and I'm going to monitor the CO parts per million throughout that store. If it's going to be into a elevated rating, obviously I'm going to bring that up when I close out the ticket. Some key differences, obviously this is a portable for your person, but each space should have a CO detector within that space. Something that's either hardwired in, plugged in, that's going to give an alarm or notice that there's a carbon monoxide elevation. It's very important, especially with a lot of people. You never know, carbon monoxide is a silent killer.